What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, and welcome back the day after what feels like an L. It's not an L. It's another draw. It's another the 11th of the season. Actually, it's insane. If you think about it, 11 points out of 33 is shocking. And when you hear those numbers, you're like, man, you probably won 3 games or so, and you lost like 6 or 7 out of them. It's not the case. The case is that we lost 0 games. We're undefeated in the season, on the season in Serie A. But we're not winning games, and we're not winning games because we have a mental issue rather than actually a quality issue. We do have a quality issue, by the way, in certain areas. However, right now we reach a point where it's a mental issue. But we're going to talk about transfers that potentially could fix them according to the club. And we are going to start off with Tomori because it seems like he has become the main target right now, especially to get a player in as soon as possible, as early as potentially the first week of January. But before we do that, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, bell notification as well, because transfer season kicks off. So a lot of updates, and we are gonna do some things in the transfer window. But let's start off with Tomori. He has emerged right now. If you read the papers and you listen to the transfer, how do you want to call it, gurus, quote unquote, then Tomori is leading the race for a very simple reason. Sancho is not for sale for Feyenoord, and Silva cost a lot of money. Money he's not worth, basically, and Benfica are playing hardball. So that brings you to Tomori. Now, according to Juventus, and actually also Sky, it's Sky saying 25. According to Juventus, is a 5 million euro loan, what the club is. So Milan want 25, around 25, and they want cash. Now, Juve want to pay money, but not upfront. So what they're proposing is basically a 5 million euro loan deal right now in January, 20 million euros in June with an obligation to buy, and then 5 million euros in bonuses, probably related to, team success and individual stats, whatever. We don't know. So let's say it's between 25 and 30 million euros. That for me is a lot of money, and it's money I would invest more wisely. I've said it, I'd rather get a loanee to bridge gap the season rather than pay the money for a player who I don't really think moves the needle, because defensively we're not fantastic. Like individually, let's be completely honest, like individually our backline is not of the highest quality. Like it is what it is. Tomori, in my opinion, is not a needle mover. Like he's not like he has certain characteristics that I think Mota appreciates, but he's not the player that moves the needle. I've seen a picture and it's good that picture is out there because I think nobody believes that. When we build up play, Locatelli is just the center back in that position, in that situation, which is not good, by the way. Locatelli shouldn't play that deep. It takes away so much of the squad. But Motta doesn't trust Gatti playing up from the back, nor should he, by the way. That's a good decision because Gatti is horrible on the ball, like absolutely terrible. Like he's just ain't it, and I'm not talking about the player defensively, just on the ball, what Motta wants to do. And we drop in Locatelli. There are pictures out there because when you're watching the game and you're just watching it as a fan, you probably don't really focus on that. That Gatti is just replacing Locatelli in midfield, basically. And Locatelli is dropping in deep, which takes away so much because we don't have that type of player in our squad, what Motta wants to do. I've said it all summer. When people were saying, no, it's not a need, it was an absolute priority to get a ball playing center back. That's why I was pissed. That's why when we got Kalulu, I'm like, no, because of what I think about him as a player. Now, he's done much better than I could have imagined, but still, ball playing wise, he's not the profile we need. And it's hindering us, it's hindering the team because Locatelli is doing that, and Motta's asking Locatelli to do that, and it just takes away so much from the team, like way too much of the team. So that's one. I don't think if you bring in Tomori, that's gonna solve that. Now, defensively, I think it will improve because, like it or not, in form, I think Tomori is a better defender than Gatti. I know a lot of people will not like to hear that. I still do not rate Gatti. He's been playing better than I could have imagined this season, But for the absolute top, I'm not a fan, nor am I a fan of Tomori. And that's my point, where it's like, is that so much of a needle mover that we need to spend 25 million? And keep in mind, that means next summer, Danilo is gone, fine. Your center backs options are Bremer, in which capacity he comes back, Kalulu, Savona, Tomori, Cambiasso, Cabal, we don't know. Like, there are no real star players out there, you know, or players, like Bremer, obviously, or Cambiasso, but there are no real players I'm looking at and I'm like, man, the potential, or not just the potential, you already reach your potential at a peak, but your peak is amazing. That's what we need. None of these players give me that feeling. And for me, that is a worry. That's a worry. That's why I'm looking at it and I'm like, really? All in for Tomori? Like, is that really? We need bodies. I get it. We need players. But 25 million is a lot for us in our situation. And we need to think twice before we spend that money, you know, because it's not that Tomori comes like let's say Tomori's career, let's say 10 years. I don't know how many years it is. He had 7 outstanding years, you know, and 1-2 seasons off. It's not the case as well, you know. It's rather the other way around, where it's like 2-3 standout years and 2-3 bad and then okay-ish years. Like, it's not a player that I'm looking at, I'm like, yeah, that's it. So we need to be careful. This club needs leadership, obviously, but they also that needs to be paired, excuse me, with quality on that pitch. Like, you can be a leader, quote unquote, like Danilo, but the quality is just pants, you know. Then it doesn't move the needle. Look at that goal we conceded yesterday, the 2-2. People talk about it's because Cambiasso slips. It's not because Cambiasso slipped. You know, he slipped and it's unfortunate. But Fiorentina had 5-6 touches before that ball was in the back of the net. They had 5 or 6 touches. Like, there was a lot that happened between that slip and, you know, the 2-2. It's just poor defending. Nobody putting his body on the line. Nobody willing to actually clear that line, clear that ball, no matter what. It's just standing off. It's soft, and that is a massive issue. Besides the issues I talked about, you know, a few minutes ago, in terms of like the way we play, because we don't have certain profiles in that team, it is a massive worry, and we need to fix that, obviously. But I don't know if that's fixable with bringing in Tomori. That's how I'm looking at it. But let's see. You know, according to the media, that is the main target right now. That's the price tag. So let me know in the comments. Do you think we should spend that on Tomori? Do you have other options? Because right now, that's it. Those are the names, you know. But that's also it for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will speak to you guys later tonight with a live show. Ciao.